Hello, everyone. Welcome to Line Breakers, show number 3. My name is Game Day Greg alongside Benny Buckets. We apologize for not giving you guys the content that you were looking forward to last week. We both had some obligations, but we're going to make it up to you guys. We're going to do 2 shows this week, so look out for the show tonight and then one on Saturday as well. But yeah, this show will cover 5 NFL games from week 3. We'll give our Thursday night football pick really quick. I know we're doing it. We're recording here on Thursday night about 5 minutes before the game. We're going to do our 3 best bets recap of last week. We did record our picks. We have it documented in the vault. So we'll have that. And then we'll also give you guys our 3 best bets for college football and the MLB games tomorrow. So a little bonus action for you guys. We do more than just NFL. So we pick all over the place. But yeah, I'll turn it over to you, Ben. How you been?
I'm good, but and as a reminder, a couple things to add on to that, since we don't just do football. Please gamble responsibly. If you are unable to, deal with gambling, contact 1-800-GAMBLER and only gamble with funds that are discretionary, not your rent or your lunch money for your kids. The other thing is, just to add on to that point about football, I'm really looking forward to. We're only about 2 weeks away from hockey season, of course. Hockey season, so I cannot wait to break down some content on the hockey. I know Game Day Greg is enthralled with that, so he's really excited.
I wasn't expecting a minute and a half into the show here.
Don't worry, I don't have any Zdeno Chara news today, unfortunately. So
yeah, okay, perfect.
All right, so anyway, we're gonna start off here with the Thursday night game. Get this in basically at the time it's starting. So apologies, you probably won't be able to take advantage of this pick, but we do want to document it on video here for posterity. We, of course, as always, are using the Caesars Sportsbook app.
Yes.
Because put some respect on Caesars' name.
No free ads.
But they do have the best commercials out here in Arizona on the Caesars Sportsbook app, so that's why we use that.
Yes, and just in case for the viewers, he is holding up just a blank white screen. You can't read what it says on there, but yes.
Blank, there we go. Caesars, there you go.
There we go. Perfect.
So we're going to start off here. We'll give you the odds here, and then we'll get to the picks real quick and make them somewhat expedited due to the game starting like now. So to start off here, the spread is 7.5. It's Jacksonville, Cincinnati. It's a Joe Buck, Troy Aikman, Christina Pink, Aaron Andrews special. The Bengals are 7.5 points favorites, but it's plus 100 on the Bengals. Minus 120 on the Jaguars if you want to get the 7.5. The money line is Jacksonville plus 280, Cincinnati minus 350, and your total points in the game is going to be 46. So, Greg, I'll let you take this one. We will make it quick because it's starting now. So,
yeah, so make it quick. I do just want to remind everybody about my pick about the Bengals possibly winning the AFC North there, but they are in first place, but that's beside the point. My pick tonight is going to be the Bengals, minus 7.5. I would, if I was betting it, I would buy it down to 7, just because that's more of a football number. But yeah, give the Bengals minus 7.5. Joe Burrow's good.
Okay. I'm going to go the under here. The Bengals have gone under in 2 of their 3 games, and the first game of the year against Minnesota, it was a 7-3 or 10-3 game at halftime, something like that, and it should have gone under, but it went to overtime. So give me the under on this game. Jacksonville doesn't score a whole lot of points. Jacksonville's defense actually last week surprisingly actually played the Cardinals pretty well. I think the Cardinals only had 24 points, and 7 of those were on a pick 6. So give me Jacksonville. Give me the under on this. I like the 46. Don't love this game. Not betting it myself, but if I had to pick, we're gonna go the under the 46. So we got that in before the kickoff. So that was the goal here. So that works. Now what we're going to do is we're going to move over to we're going to go with best bets, I believe, first here. So best bets, Greg, if you want to let the viewers here know, not that they would have been able to take advantage because we didn't have a vlog last week, but that's okay. If you want to let them know for posterity what your best bets were, and then let them know the results.
Yeah, so I went 3-0, guys. 3-0 after
3-0. That's perfect.
Yeah, so I had the Bills minus 7 against the Washington football team. I had the Cardinals minus 7.5, your hometown team there, against the Jaguars. And then I had the Cowboys minus 3.5 against the Philadelphia Eagles. So it was a good week. It was bounced back from week 2 where I did go 0-3. So we are now 3-3 on the season with best bets.
Okay, very good, very good. I I went 2-1. I did not go undefeated, unfortunately, but that's okay. 2-1, we'll take that every week. That's 67%, so we'll take that. I had the Packers at 49ers, the over the 50. That was my favorite bet. Very happy with that one. That game went well over, I believe 30. It went over by 8 points, so that was a easy winner for you guys. Then we had the Seahawks -1.5 at Minnesota. That one did not work out, despite having a 17-7 lead and having the ball on the Minnesota 35-yard line, up by 10 with about 4 minutes left in the first half. They blew the game, and they did not score in the second half. So Seahawks are disappointing. Got the loss. Probably you're going to go to 1-3 this week against San Francisco on the road, and that may put them kind of out of range for a really tough division, the NFC West. So we lost that one, but we did win on the Broncos. I actually, what I did is I did a little bit of an alternative line here. I like this game so much. Just this is more about how bad the Jets were more than how good the Broncos are, though they have been impressive against weak competition in the first 3 games. Their competition collectively has 0 wins. The Jets are 0-3. The Jaguars are 0-3, and the Giants are 0-3. So it doesn't really say much about the opponents, but hey, you play who's on the schedule.
Right.
I had a -10. I did tease it up to -13.5 to go from -110 to +150 odds. So
that's awesome. Congrats.
They won 26-0. So and the Jets have now been shut out 2 weeks in a row. Ironically, both games losing 26-0. So that'll be interesting. We will obviously not get into the NFL tonight. We'll do that on Saturday, but
I think that puts us both at 3-3 for our best bets so far.
I believe so. Yes. I was 1-2 the previous week. So we're both.
So we had 1 win collectively in the first week of best bets.
We did. We were 1-5.
So. Wait, we're turning around for you folks. We're getting into this too. This is new for us. So
that's right. That's right. It's new for us. It's our first season of Line Breakers. First of many, of course. I'm sure, without a veil, sooner we'll either be on the Ringer Podcast Network or Barstool. We'll be on a bigger platform, no doubt. But
right, it's not if, it's when, of course.
It's not if, it's when. It's not if, it's when. Exactly. So, do you want to go over the player props from last week to their game day, Greg, or no?
Oh, sure. We're throwing a little curveball here. Yes.
Yeah, we did not do player props in our first 2 weeks. So we're gonna go with this one here. So. I gave you 3 college picks actually in week 2, and they went 3-0. Just to kind of say that.
Yes.
He did Greg wanted to stick to the player prop side when I deviated a bit, but go ahead.
Yes. If you guys haven't figured out by now, Ben likes to deviate from the norm here, but that's okay.
We ignore the pre-production meetings. We like kind of flying by the seat of our pants here.
Yes, exactly. So, my 3 player props did not do as well last week. I had Stephon Diggs over 76.5. That did not hit. Deebo Samuel over 66.5 did not hit as well. And then Sterling Shepard decided to basically tear his hamstring. I don't know if that's exactly what happened, but he hurt his hamstring and he had a total of like 13 yards and his over-under was 61.5. And I bet the over there. And then I was 0-3 for player props, but
I didn't do much better. I did have 1 win by the skin of my teeth. I had Deebo as well over 66.5. I believe he's in the 50s. I had Chase Edmonds over 45.5. He didn't even crack 30, over 45.5 rushing yards. I believe he's at 28. James Conner actually outgained him, even though Chase Edmonds is quote unquote the starter and got less touches than James Conner. But that's a Cliff Kingsbury issue. When you go under 500 in college and you can't win anything with Pat Mahomes, your starting quarterback, what do you expect, right? So, he only had Pat Mahomes for 3 years and, he had more interceptions in college than the pros. And now, he's the best quarterback in the game, but that says more about Kingsbury than Mahomes, of course. Great instant analysis on the Cardinals for you, all you Redbird fans. And then the final one, we barely got there, but a win's a win, whether you win by a half yard or you win by 100 yards. We had Jonathan Taylor over 63.5, and he got 64 yards. So
I saw that. We
win by a half yard. We'll take it. Sometimes you love the hook, sometimes you hate the hook. We'll take the hook here, and the hook down to 63.5 got us a win. So not great on our first week on player props, 1-2. Greg was also 1-2. Oh no, Greg was 0-3.
0-3, yes.
0-3. I'm sorry, 0-3. So we are 1-5 in the player props and 3-3 in the best bets. But we'll
best bets are all that matters.
Yeah, we'll come back up. We'll come back on the player props this week. I did have a couple player props in tonight, but we are not covering player props for tonight's game, so we won't include that in our player props when we come back on Saturday. But if we want to start, Greg, if you want to kind of introduce these games, we're going to go over from week 3. First of all, I'm going to give you guys my overall picks. I was 7-7 on the week, 7-7 on the week, including Monday Night Football for you guys. So,
oh, okay, yeah, I was. See, this is what we do, guys. We give you guys the information that we don't cover in the pre-production meeting. I did not add them up, but I believe I went 6-8.
Okay.
But to also put a little curveball in there, I had my fiance Gina actually do make her picks right before the 1 o'clock kickoff games, just the money line, and she went 11-4.
Wow.
11-4 on the money line.
Wow.
Yeah.
Maybe she should be on the podcast, huh?
What
are we doing
Deion
here?
Sanders. Deion Sanders went 10-6 in Barstool, and she went 11-4. She picked the Falcons, the Saints, the Vikings. She picked a lot of upsets. So
wow. Well, it was a dog
Sharp.
week. It was a dog. The Sharps come in on the dogs, and 11-4. Very impressive. Very impressive.
Yes.
All right. Well,
that tells you all you need to know about betting, folks. But yes.
Tells you all you need to know about our expertise. You know. So.
Yes. Yes. She listens to the show. That's how she got 11-4. No, I don't think there'd be any other way.
7-7 and 6-8. This is the first week we're tracking them for you guys, so that'll be our total to begin here. Not too bad, just a shade over 500 collectively, but if you want to under 500. Yeah. If you want to go ahead and
sure, yeah. So we'll give you guys 5 games just to recap. The first game will start off, no bias, Bills versus Washington football team. I'll take this one first if you don't mind, Ben. Benny Buckets. I have my notes written down here for every game, and I just have all capital letters, Josh Allen. He was dominant in this game, throwing for 358 yards, 4 passing touchdowns, rushed for 1 at the end of the game. That was old school Josh Allen, the way he looked last year. It was windy in Buffalo. That first touchdown pass to Emmanuel Sanders, that throw wasn't there. He created that throw. Emmanuel Sanders did a great job to dig it, but all around, just great game. Special teams, defense, both safeties had a pick. Taylor, not the greatest quarterback competition in Taylor Heineke, but it's good to see them blow out the teams that they're supposed to blow out. I won't get into next week's games. I'll save that for the next episode for you guys. But no, it was just a fantastic game to watch. And yeah, what are your thoughts on that game, Ben?
Yeah, I agree with you. I like the Bills as well in our picks. I did pick the Bills. I thought Heineke would have a better game. I thought after a strong performance against the Giants, pretty good Giants defense too, that he would come out and have a good showing, but not so much. He couple bad interceptions. The one to Jordan Poyer, he was throwing it up in the flat to no one in particular. That Poyer ended up returning down about the 15-yard line of Washington, which the Bills later scored. I believe a Zach Moss receiving touchdown, which is yes. Not exactly Randy Moss out there. Zach Moss with the receptions. You might see a Zach Moss receiving touchdown about as often as Haley's Comet, folks. So make sure you recorded that one, have that one on your DVR. That doesn't happen very often. But regardless, the Bills were the much better team. This game it got a little close. It was 21-0 Bills, and Washington went down, scored a touchdown, then recovered a kind of a fluky pooch kick that they were able to recover the ball at the Bills 20, and Heineke was able to get in there with a rush, with a scramble there on the outside. But then the Bills kind of came back, and they pretty much they got 2 touchdowns in a row. They were up 27-14 at the half, and then or 28-14 at the half. And then Washington got the ball coming out of the half, had to punt, and then the Bills came down and scored another touchdown. And that was pretty much it. The game was over with about 7 minutes left in the third quarter. The Bills were by 3 touchdowns. So good win by the Bills. Definitely, showing and kind of not improving, but building on kind of their initial win that they had the first win of the year against Miami. I would say that against a more impressive team, Miami did not play well that day, and Washington wasn't great either, but definitely an impressive way to start the year. So Bills 1-0 there. So that was a solid game. I think the next game we talked about, we're going to go over another 1 o'clock game for you folks, was the Chargers and the Chiefs. This is an interesting game. Greg, if you want to start on that one. I got this wrong. I believe you as well got this one wrong. So if you want to.
Yes. I think we both picked the Chiefs here. It was a sucker pick. I mean, I picked that game, and then once kickoff happened, I'm like, the Chargers are going to win this. It just feels right. And Justin Herbert showed everyone why he's a very highly touted quarterback. He had 4 touchdown passes. Mahomes had a no-look interception added to his resume. Granted, it went right off the receiver's hands into the intercepting person's hands, but no, the Chargers looked amazing in this game. They went for it. They got it. It was a high-scoring game. I believe it. What was the over-under in this game? Was it 55?
Yeah, I believe it was around 50. I think it started the week actually at 47.5, and I believe, let's see where it closed. It did close at 55, so it did not
just
hit
the under.
Just the under. But it depends where you got it. If you got it when this game opened up, you on Sunday night, you definitely won. If you got it later in the week or on game day, then you did lose. You lost by a point. So.
Yeah, no, it was just a great game to watch. What are your thoughts, Ben?
Yeah, I didn't see it. I didn't watch any of it. I haven't seen a highlight of it either, to be honest. I think the Chargers, I think this goes to show you when you have competent coaching there with Brandon Staley. Of course, we must reference it. We referenced it here before on the show. The defensive coordinator at John Carroll University just a mere 5 years ago in 2016, a Division II school, and now the head coach of the Los Angeles Chargers, almost at San Diego, but I guess technically we call them Los Angeles, even though 3/4 of their fan base is still in San Diego and not a whole lot of fan base in LA. Given the fact that 80% of the fans at their first home opener with fans was Cowboy fans because they were playing Dallas. But be that as it may, an impressive win, no doubt. Chiefs losing 2 weeks in a row. I mean, that Chiefs defense 2 weeks in a row, 36 points they gave up or 37 points they gave up to the Ravens in week 2, and then they gave up 30 to LA at home. Not impressive, not a good start for them. So definitely got some things to work out. They should, in theory, this week they're playing in Philly. Philly, who did not look good at all against Dallas on Monday night. They should, in theory, beat up on them, but who knows with that defense? It's a very spotty defense. So we'll move right along there. I don't have a whole lot to say on that one because I didn't really watch it and didn't see much of it or the replay or anything like that, any highlights. So next one we have here is we're going to move forward here, talk about an impressive game, a very good game, as a matter of fact, a good comeback, but a little bit short in the end. The Miami Dolphins at the Las Vegas Raiders. I'll start on this one here since you started the last two. Their game day, or third leg. I watched the end of this game. I saw the last couple minutes after the Bucks and the Rams game. Decision was no longer in doubt, and I did see the overtime. It looked like the Raiders were down. I think the Raiders were down 14-2 at one point. They had a safety, which is the only one of the week. Pretty rare occurrence, safeties in the NFL. And then they came storming back and were up, I believe, by a two possession margin. And then the Dolphins came back and tied the game, and then got a 2-point conversion with time expired to send the game to overtime. Unfortunately for Miami, no Tua in this game, no Tua Tagovailoa. Similar to last year's game in Las Vegas, where he was benched in favor of Ryan Fitzpatrick. This year it was because of injury. Although he probably would have been benched anyway because he's not very good. But anyway, yes, I wanted to put that editorial in there for all the Miami and South Florida viewers, because I know there are a ton of them. But definitely the Raiders are impressive. I mean, they're 3-0 now. Really impressive comeback they had against the Ravens, down 14-0, week 1 of Monday Night Football. They've been playing really well, and big game this week coming up against the Chargers for a potential share of the lead in the AFC West with Denver, or depending what happens in that game, the Denver-Baltimore game could be the leader of the division coming out of that game. About a quarter way through the year. So impressive win. I got this one wrong. I had the under 44. Didn't see a whole lot of points being scored, and this one was kind of blown out of the water. I think about midway through the fourth quarter when Miami started their comeback and got on the comeback trail. And then it got knocked out when Miami scored the touchdown to tie the game there. So was a close, but we did lose in the end by a bigger margin than we otherwise would have. But because the game went to overtime, but we still lost nonetheless. So that's my take on that one. If you want to follow up there.
Yeah, no, the beautiful thing about NFL Sunday Ticket is you get to watch all the games. I turned this game on right after the Bills game. Watched every second of it. I picked them in one of my survivor leagues. I picked the Raiders to beat the Dolphins, and it was a lot closer than I would have liked. But no, Derek Carr is doing very well this year. He had 2 touchdown passes, almost 400 yards passing. John Gruden must be loving this right now, right? I mean, he's 3-0.
Yeah, with a quarterback he doesn't even want. That's the ironic.
Exactly. Imagine if he had a quarterback he did want. I mean, yeah. I don't know who that would be. Maybe Nathan Peterman, but yeah, no.
Well, he's the backup right now because Mariota's on IR for at least the next, I think, 3 or 4 weeks. So, yep. So,
yep. But Peyton Barber had a great game, stepping out for Josh Jacobs, had 23 carries for 111 yards and a touchdown. Did pick him up in our fantasy league this week.
There you go.
I'm a little thin on the running back position, but that's neither here nor there. But no, this was a very entertaining game. A lot long. I love when the 4:00 games roll right into the Sunday night football game, so you don't have a lag. So it was just the perfect football Sunday, viewing wise. So yeah, great game overall. And I had the Raiders -3.5, and they won by 3, of course. So buy that hook when you can.
There. Yeah, exactly. Time hook, but.
Exactly. But going into this next game here, Bucks versus Rams. Ben, why don't you take this one?
Yeah, Bucks versus Rams. Was looking forward to it. Thought this would be a good game. Didn't have a great sense on the total. I mean, on the sides. If I had to have picked it, I would have gone with the Bucks, but I didn't. That was not my pick. I did go with the over 55.5. I actually got this one early in the week when it opened up. It was 54. So that was good. It did take a late kind of backdoor garbage time touchdown to Giovanni Bernard from Tom Brady to get there because we'll
take it any way we can get it.
We would a field goal would have get us the tie at 54, but the touchdown got us the win at 58 total points. So it looked like Bernard unfortunately got hurt on the play. He was able to get off on his own power, so that was good to see. But it didn't look good in this one from a total perspective. I believe it was either 0-0 or 7-0 after like the first 20 minutes of the game, maybe 5 minutes into the third.
There was no score in the first quarter.
Yeah, there was no score in the first quarter. So it definitely didn't look good at the outset, but the teams definitely picked it up. Stafford had a great game. He threw a couple of bombs. He had Deshaun Jackson wide open for a touchdown down the field for about a 75-yard touchdown. It seemed to be a blown coverage by the Bucs secondary, who are missing 2 of their top corners now with Sean Murphy-Bunting, and Jamel Dean also got hurt in the game, and Bunting didn't play at all. So that could be interesting this week for their big matchup against the Patriots. That'll be a reunion, which we'll go over in, I'm sure, great detail on Saturday. But good game. I was happy to see the Bucs go down. He's not in the division anymore, but it's nice to see Tom Brady take an L. It doesn't happen very often, so when it does, it's you got to cherish it because it doesn't happen much. So good win by the Rams. And by the way, the Rams, just got to say this. I got them early in the year. I said I did pick them to win the Super Bowl, as you may recall.
You did. Give Ben his credit. Give
Walsh the credit. Give Walsh the credit.
Yes, Walsh credit. Yeah.
So we did do that, and now they were at the 5th or 6th team with best. Now they're the best odds of anybody to win the Super Bowl, according to the great Caesar himself. So,
yes.
Well, that's not.
So let's make sure you hold up the phone every time we mention Caesars, just so the viewers can understand.
Yeah. So there it is. There it is. Yes. There you go. Caesars. So.
Perfect.
So there we go. So I'll let you take over there and give your analysis.
Yeah. No, you did a great job recapping this game. I had the over 55.5 as well, and that hit with the 58 there. So that was nice to see that garbage time touchdown. But I do have an obscure stat for you in this game.
Yes.
So who would you guess is the leading rusher on the Bucs in this game?
I'm going to go with Tom Brady.
Yes, Tom Brady is correct. He had 3 carries for 14 yards. Yes. He was the leading passer and rusher. This might be the first time in his career where he was the leader in both categories. But no, the 432 yards by Tom Brady. I mean, that's just nuts. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But no, this was just
seemed like it because they weren't moving they weren't putting a lot of points on the board. So it was kind of like
they were behind.
They 400. He actually led the league in passing despite, but
Yeah.
it wasn't very productive yardage, if you will. But hey,
Yeah,
gotta
no.
give credit.
Yeah, no. The Rams looked really good. I don't think there's a head coach in the National Football League that runs more than Sean McVay. He basically meets Matt Stafford in the end zone every time they score. But no, this is a great game. And yeah, Deshaun Jackson, his touchdown, long touchdown. I mean, vintage Deshaun Jackson does everything he can before he actually crosses the goal line. He swerves and pretends. Yeah. It seems like he pretends that there's.
He did appear to slow down. I did notice that his rate of speed he did seem to decelerate. I don't know if that was I don't know if he got tired or he had another hamstring injury, one of his 1,000 hamstring injuries he's had in the last 4 years. But
yeah, we'll get those stats for you folks next time with regards to the deceleration of speed by Deshaun Jackson. We'll get the miles per hour for you.
Yeah. That's an Amazon Web Services. We got to give Amazon Web Services that plug, I guess.
Yes, yes. All right, perfect. And then the last game we're going to recap here for you folks is the Packers and 49ers. This was the Sunday night football game. What a game this was. Ben, I'll let you take this first.
Yeah, I didn't see much of it. I'll be honest. I was out and about on the town here in Phoenix, but I did see the last 6 minutes. I did see the Garoppolo touchdown to the most underrated, perhaps, football player in the league and the best fullback in the league, the great Kyle Juszczyk. And when you pay a fullback $5 million a year, he better be the best fullback in the league. Yes. With that being said, so Kyle Juszczyk muscled his way in. However, there was still about 40 seconds, I believe 38 seconds left on the clock for Aaron Rodgers. And that's too much time, considering that they really couldn't stop him all night. Was a good comeback. I believe they were down by 2 or 3 scores at one point in the game, the Niners were. But they were no match for the AARP duo known as Aaron Rodgers and Mason Crosby there at the end. They've got more. Trust me, folks. They've got more white hair than you'll see at a trying to think here for a second. Oh, at the lodge, what's it called? You know what I'm talking about.
This is fantastic joke, folks. This is you could tell he really spent some time on this. With the interest in here.
I forget what the name of it is, where all the veterans go, the war veterans go.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, the lodge where they go and they have cheap beer for the veterans.
Yes.
I can't remember
the Knights, like the Knights of Columbus type.
Yeah, Knights of Columbus. Well, I think that's like a
It's not. That's not what it's called. They have great wins in Buffalo. Shadow Wingnuts.
It's not the Knights of Columbus. But regardless, they definitely. Probably dementia's not too far off for those guys. Unfortunately, they're of that age.
Yes. No, the fantastic recap on this game, Ben. Yes. We could tell you were out and about in the town there, but I watched this game. This was absolutely fantastic. Back and forth action. Aaron Rodgers, 37 seconds left, no timeouts, starting from your own 25-yard line. That throw to Davante Adams with about 30 seconds left was unbelievable. He threw it right over the defender's hand and right into Davante Adams' hand. Just great clock management there. Then Mason Crosby to seal it at the end there. That was just a fantastic way to end the Sunday night games. Aaron Rodgers, vintage Aaron Rodgers. I mean, it was just all around a good game. Davante Adams at 132 yards, solidifying himself as one of the best wide receivers in the league. Fantastic way to end the Sunday night slate. All right, folks, that was our week 3 recap, brought to you by absolutely nobody because we don't have sponsors. So we'll just go ahead and get right into, we're going to do some college football picks for you folks. We're going to each pick 3 games and what we like, with a little reason why. Ben, I don't know if you want to start out here.
Yeah, I'll go. I'm going to go with the first one here. This one I've already got money in on. It's an obscure one, folks. You've really got to be in the weeds here. And, in college football, typically your best lines are going to be on the lower divisions or lower, the lesser conferences here. And we do have one for you in one of the obscure conferences. This one's out of the Conference USA, of course. I don't know if it stands for Conference United States of America or something else, but regardless, Conference USA. We have got the Old Dominion. I don't even know their nickname, to be honest with you, but the Old Dominion University men's football team is going into the Sun Bowl to take on El Paso. University of Texas at El Paso to be correct. UTEP.
Set your alarms. Set your alarms.
Set your alarms. It's 7 p.m. local time, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern time. It's a big game. I don't know if it'll be on somewhere. Probably not. We like to pick some of these games that are not on TV because those are the easiest games to pick. So anyway, the pick is UTEP minus 5.5. Now, why you say UTEP? One of the worst teams perennially last 5 years in all of the FCS or FBS, I should say, not FCS, FBS for college football. And the reason is simple. Old Dominion is awful. Old Dominion is a very bad team. They recently got promoted from FCS to FBS to Conference USA. I've seen old UTEP play, and they have been pretty impressive this year, actually. They hold their own for about the first half against Boise State on the blue turf in Boise. Again, not an easy place to play. And they're 3-1. They're 3-1. They beat New Mexico at home last week. Outright. They were, I believe, a 2.5 or 3-point draw, and they won that game outright. And they also beat New Mexico State to open the year as a 9.5-point favorite on the road. So I really like them. Old Dominion, on the other hand, is 1-3. As I look at their stats right here, they lost by 32 points on the road at Wake Forest. They have one win, beating Hampton, a HBCU, at home. But then they lost to Liberty on the road by 28 points. And they lost to UB by a point last week. Although they did have a nice comeback. I believe they were down 21-0 at one point in that UB game against Buffalo. But listen, on the road, this team is garbage. They've lost in 2 games by a combined 60 points in 2 road games. I'm not saying that, UTEP's going to win by 30, but would not be surprised if they win by double digits. To me, this is an easy one. I like this one quite a bit. This is for college purposes. This will be my lock of the week. I know we're not doing best bets on the show because we're only doing college and MLB, but this is my favorite game of the week. So I'm going to give you UTEP minus the 5.5.
Love it. Love it. Folks, rush to your sports books. Put that in. My pick is going to be something that actually could be watched on television. It's going to be the Ole Miss versus Alabama game. The what I believe will be the best game of the college football slate. This over-under started out at 80. I think it's at 79 right now. The number does not matter here. It's going to go over. These defenses are not going to be able to keep up with the opposing offenses. I mean, 2 fantastic quarterbacks in Matt Corral and Bryce Young. They just sling the ball all over the place. They can do everything. They can run. They're just fantastic weapons. And I talked to the local folk around here. They love Matt Corral. They think
even though he's in Bulldogs country, he's getting the scoop. So just
yes, exactly. But no, actually, believe it or not, it's pretty split down the middle here.
Oh, is it? Okay.
USM isn't really a good college football town. I mean, they just got whacked by Alabama last week, 63-14 or something like that. The only notable player they have is Frank Gore's son, is the running back at USM. But this Ole Miss Alabama game, I'm really looking forward to it. I've got 2 plays on this game. I'm going to go over the 79 while it's still at 79. I could see this getting into the mid 80s, honestly. It's a 14-7 game, but I'll take the over. Then I'll also take Ole Miss plus 14.5. I think it's going to be a close
bonus. So 2 picks for the price of 1. Okay.
Two for the folks. We missed last week.
You only got 1 more pick then this week. Okay, for the college. All right, I like it.
We'll see. We'll maybe bend the rules a little bit.
You want to do a bonus game? Okay, we'll do it. It's a bonus pick.
Maybe I threw in a bonus pick. Yes. If you get to talk about Zdeno Chara breaking down UEFA League, I get to throw in a bonus pick here. But give me Ole Miss plus 14.5 and give me the over 79.
Yeah, with that being said, I'm officially 0-3 on the UEFA picks. I'm going to have to fade that for a while.
Go ahead. Name 2 players. Name 2 players in UEFA League, sir.
On UEFA? Sure. Ronaldo and Messi. They're both playing in the Champions League. So there you go.
All right, okay.
Donnarumma, too. Donnarumma, he was the goalie on the
all right.
European European champion Italy. Okay, well, you started. Yeah, you're going to regret it. All right, so I'm gonna go with you. I like that game as well. I'm not. That's a lot of points on the total. You might be right, but I'm gonna fade that. But I'll go with Ole Miss plus 14.5. I know the game's in Tuscaloosa. And I know the last real game that they had that wasn't a quote unquote, bye week game where they paid SMU probably $1.5 million to come in there and get spanked at Alabama. Was Florida, which they won, it was in Florida's on the road, but they only won by 2 points to the Crimson Tide. And it took a hold or a stop on a 2-point conversion to win that game. So I have seen Ole Miss play a couple times. I saw them play against Louisville, first game of the year in the kickoff game on Monday night, Labor Day, against Georgia. They look very impressive. I am very impressed in Matt Corral. I think, especially if he's got a big week here, somehow if they can manage to pull out a win, which I think is somewhat unlikely, but they can, I think that puts him right at the top of the conversation for potential Heisman. He's been much more impressive, frankly, than Bryce Young, even though Bryce Young's had a pretty good year, and Spencer Rattler's been complete trash.
Ooh.
So very overrated, very overrated. Oklahoma doesn't score more than 25 points a game, and they may not cover a spread until 2027 at this point. So
Yes.
the way it's going for them. So I like Ole Miss plus the 14.5. I also think that the Ole Miss defense has played pretty well. At least the game I saw against Louisville, they shut them down, and Louisville's had some good offensive performances against UCF, and also against Florida State last week. So give me Ole Miss plus the 14.5.
Love it. Yeah, my next game here is going to be Arkansas versus Georgia. This is at Georgia. This is an ESPN game, 11 a.m. Central Time, so it's a little early. But I love Arkansas here. The plus 18, that's too many points. Georgia doesn't have the most high power offense, and Arkansas has just been rolling, folks. And that their fans are going to travel well, 4-0 for the first time in who knows how long. Ranked number 8 in the country.
Will Jerry Jones be there though? Will Jerry Jones be there? Do we know?
That is a good question. Will Jerry Jones be there? But
will he fly in for the game on his private jet and then fly back to the Cowboys game against Carolina the next day? That's the question.
That sounds like the life right there, honestly. But no, Arkansas played very well against Texas A&M, ranked number 7 at the time. I'm not sure what they are now, with a nice 20-10 win. But give me Arkansas plus 18, and I'm not going to say it.
It's actually 18.5 now, so you're getting a hook there. So
18.5.
18.5. There you go.
I'll take it.
So 18.5, according to Caesars here. I'm not gonna put it up on the screen because I've done that twice already. I'll probably do it again for the baseball bets here in a bit, but
twice too many, some might say. Yes.
Yeah, twice too many. Well, no sponsors, no advertising. Everybody knows the rules, but for me, I still like to do it just because it's fun. Now the final pick of the game, the final pick of the week for me, I guess Newman's giving you a bonus pick. He's giving you an additional pick. I'm only going to do 3 here. I am going to go with Notre Dame, and I've got to get the updated odds on this. This one opened up. Cincinnati was a 3-point favorite. This game is in Notre Dame. It's South Bend, Indiana, the Notre Dame Stadium. But let me find it here. Let me see what we're at now with it. 1 second, folks. Okay. So now it quickly moved to 2.5. Now it's down to 1.5. Notre Dame by 1.5. I'm going to see. I actually like them on the money line here. I'll give up that 1.5. I'd rather get the odds and the juice on the money line, and I do have it here. So Notre Dame on the money line plus 110. So give me Notre Dame on the money line plus 110. Offense was very impressive last week. Seemed to hit its stride against a very good Wisconsin defense. They played well defensively, but that I think had more to do with the fact Wisconsin is awful and perennially awful. Wisconsin has not been good on offense since Ron Dane was a running back there, folks. Okay. If you don't know who Ron Dane is, he was Thunder and Lightning with Tiki Barber, circa about 1998, 1999. So, it's been about 20 years. I was in diapers at the time when Wisconsin had a good offensive team. So, we'll go with Notre Dame's defense was good, but it was more about Wisconsin being really bad. So, but I do like them here. Cincinnati's a team that was tied with Murray State of the FCS at halftime, 7-7 a couple weeks ago, about 3 weeks ago. I'm sure they're good. They beat Indiana on the road, which was a solid win. They were a ranked team at the time. although they had lost to Iowa in week 1, Indiana that being. But I just don't – I think I have a hard time seeing a team like Cincinnati going into Notre Dame Stadium and beating them outright. I just think that's a tall task. I think it'll be a good game. I don't think it'll be a blowout like last week where Notre Dame was a 6.5-point dog and just absolutely smoked Wisconsin. So I think it'll be a good quality game. But I like Notre Dame at home, both plus the 1.5. But I think it's worth giving up the 20% taking them on the money line and going from minus 110 at plus 1.5 to going on the money line and win outright at plus 110. I think that's worth it. So I don't see them losing by a point, folks. So give me that. Give me Notre Dame plus 110 on the money line.
Love it. And for the sake of the rules, I'm not going to pick another game.
He's not. He's going to hold on.
No, we're
man, I was excited for this bonus game, man.
Yes, no. If there was a bonus game, I would potentially pick Maryland on the upset over Iowa.
Interesting. Okay.
But there's no bonus game, so
no bonus game. No bonus game.
But all right, folks, let's wrap it up here with a couple MLB game picks.
We're gonna go with some baseball. We'll give you the odds here, just because not everyone, we got to use the same odds here. So let me give you your odds for tomorrow. These are odds. These are games that are listed. Not all games are always listed this early in the night, but we'll give you the games that are listed. So we'll go with that. Or you could also pick a night game tonight if you'd like, because they haven't started yet. So let me give you the night games tonight. So tonight's games, we got Arizona Diamondbacks at San Francisco. We've got 2 older or veteran lefties, one who was out of baseball for a while, one who should be out of baseball, but he's not very good anymore. So Madison Bumgarner for the Diamondbacks. Scott Kazmir, the former Met prospect and former Tampa Bay Devil Ray great. He was the ace, of course, of the Devil Rays in 2008 when they played the Phillies in the World Series, for those who go back that far with Major League Baseball. The Giants are minus 219 on the money line. The Arizona's plus 199. The run line, which means you got to lay a 1.5 here. If you lay a 1.5 with the Giants, you got to win by 2 or more. It's minus 110. If you're getting a 1.5 with the D-backs, it's minus 110. And then the total runs, both minus 110 or 8.5 is the total for you. Next,
I'm actually going to pick this game.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead if you got this already. I was going to give all the games first, but if you okay.
Yeah, while we're on topic here, I'm going to go over the 8.5 in this game.
Over the 8.5.
I just can't wait to see how many runs Madison Bumgarner is going to give up to this Giants offense. Madison Bumgarner is just not. If you watch his pitching mechanics, he basically shows the ball the whole way before he throws it, and
I don't know. It worked for him when he was a Giant. It doesn't seem to be.
It doesn't have the juice that it had. It worked because he had the juice. He had the movement. He doesn't have that breaking stuff like he used to have. He doesn't have that blow by fastball. His command has not been the best this year. I think the Giants could score 9 runs in this by itself.
Okay. So you like the over?
I like the over. Yes.
Right, I'm gonna fade this one. I'm not gonna pick this one. It could certainly happen, but I did pick it over in this series last night, over 9, and it was a 1-0 game. So it can't be more off than that. So I'll fade this one. I do like this next one, however. This is another night game tonight. San Diego Padres at Los Angeles Dodgers. Vince Velasquez of Philadelphia Phillies fame, also for playing outfield for the Philadelphia Phillies and having outfield assist fame. He was designated for assignment and picked up by the Padres, who are now eliminated. The Giant, and starting for the Dodgers is Tony Gonsolin. The Dodgers are favorites minus 216. The Padres are plus 196. The run line is San Diego plus 1.5, plus 105. The Dodgers are minus 1.5 on the run line, minus 125. And your total here, 9 runs, but it's shading to the over, minus 115 on the over, 9. And then minus 105 on the under. I'm going to go here on the over on this total. Velasquez has had a really bad year. He's not a terrible pitcher. He's had some good years in the past, but this year is not one in particular. Gonsolin is not bad. He's actually a bit underrated, but he does not stack up to Julio Urias or Clayton Kershaw or Max Scherzer or Walker Buehler. Those guys are all in a completely different class than him. So if you're going to go with an over and pick against an over, probably the start to pick the over for on the Dodger games is going to be Gonsolin. So I do like this. It went over last night, 11-9. The Dodgers won in a crazy game where they were up by 5 runs, down by 4 runs, and then they ended up winning with 4 home runs in the bottom of the 8th. Two good offenses, and the Padres bullpen has been real suspect here in the last month. Definitely overworked. They're the most worked bullpen in the league. So I like this over. I've already got it in for tonight, so excited for this game to take place in about an hour. Do you have a pick on this one, or should we move on to the next one here, Brett?
Let's just go on to the games tomorrow. I do have a request for the lines because you are the line master.
Yes.
I'm curious to see if there's a line out for that Rays Yankees game tomorrow. It's not showing on the ESPN app.
There is not yet. There is not on Caesars. I can check FanDuel. We can use FanDuel as well, of course. And I can check the BetMGM app. Those are the 3 I have here, folks. So
yeah, while he's checking, I think this is a good time just to reiterate, folks, that we do want to use as many sports books as we can to get the best lines. We recommend 3 to 5. Potentially more if you want, but if you're confident in a game and you want the best line possible, you got to shop for that best line. So make sure you're using a couple different ones to make sure you get the best value.
Yes, absolutely. I do not see one for the Yankees tomorrow, unfortunately.
That's okay. That's okay.
We'll move on here. These are games for tomorrow. The first one here is Boston Red Sox at Washington, the Nationals. Starting for the Red Sox is Eduardo Rodriguez, also known as Erod. The Red Sox are favored -180. The Nationals are starting, I think his name's Jesse Rogers, if I'm not mistaken. Jay Rogers, he's a rookie. +165 for the Nats. The run line is -1.5 for the Red Sox, -120. Nats are +1.5, +100, and the total in the game is 9.5. -105 to the over, -115 to the over on the 9.5. Do you have a feeling on this one, sir?
I do. I have been picking unders in Red Sox games just because they've been playing the Orioles, and that seems to be doing well. I know tonight the Orioles are actually beating the Red Sox, which is good for us Yankees fans. By us, I mean me. But unfortunately, they are losing tonight, but that is a whole separate story. Yeah. But yeah, give me the under 9.5 in this game. I think it'll be tense. The Red Sox will be tense. They're fighting for that second wildcard spot, possibly the first wildcard spot. AL wildcard race is just nuts, bananas. I mean, there could be a 4-way tie. And I don't know if anyone has seen Jeff Passan's tweet, but go check that thread out in case there is a 2-way through 5-way tie. He has laid out all the scenarios to see what would happen there. So that's interesting if you guys are into stuff like that. But no, give me the under the 9.5 in this Red Sox Nationals game.
Okay, I am going to go. I'm gonna pass on that one. I thought I'm gonna pass on it. Yeah. All right. Next one up here is gonna be. Actually, you know what?
No, just give me your pick. Just give your pick.
I'm gonna pass on it. I'm gonna pass on it.
He was debating it. You're debating it.
No, I'm gonna pass on it. The juice is. I got to lay juice to get to win by 2 runs. I was gonna go with the Red Sox -1.5, but I got to lay 120 to do it. I'm not doing that. Forget that.
Right.
Too much juice. All right. Next game we got. I'm gonna go. Next game we have up is. So I need to make 2 more. You need to make 1 more. So Cleveland at Texas. Cleveland is the favorite -121. Texas is +110. This is Eli Morgan against Spencer Howard, the former number 1 overall prospect in the Phillies organization. So the run line is Cleveland -1.5 +130. Texas +1.5 -150. Total runs is 9, both -110. I do have a pick here. He looked good in his last start, Spencer. He got off to a bit of a rocky start with Texas, but I think they had some fight. They were down 5-0 today against the Angels and came back and won. And they were down 5-0 and then down 6-5 in the 8th inning and came back and won. So I do like Texas here getting plus money. Cleveland has not been very good here since they've essentially been eliminated about a week and a half ago. I think they have a game tonight, but I believe they lost the first 2 to Kansas City, who's not particularly good. And I think they're just playing out the string. So I think Texas with some young players at home, I do like them. I don't love this game, but if I had to take 3 and of the lines we have out, I'll go with Texas +110. You have a pick on this one, or are you going to pass?
I do not. I'm not going to side with the Spencer Howard that has 9.17 ERA. Unfortunately, I just don't have that conviction like you do.
Okay.
But yeah, if you have a hunch,
Fair.
I mean, go for it. I mean,
Fair enough. Fair
yeah,
enough.
I think we got one game each left here.
We have one game each left. Yes, we do.
I'll just get
No,
into
you know
mine.
what? I'm gonna cancel that one out because I got a different one.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Sorry, I got a different one.
Well,
This game I'm actually taking. I feel bad because the juice is better here. So I
we
like.
might have to get into the soccer picks to get his 3 in here, folks.
I don't know.
so
We might have to get into darts soon here.
Yes, preseason hockey. Yes.
No darts. No, like
yeah,
yeah. So we've got the Detroit Tigers at Chicago White Sox. Detroit is a underdog. Pitching for Detroit is Willie Peralta. He used to be on the Brewers. And pitching for the White Sox is Lance Lynn, who for a while was leading the league in the ERA. I don't think he is anymore. I think that's Robbie Ray. But anyway, Detroit is the underdog plus 215. Chicago minus 245. The run line is plus 1.5, plus 110 for Detroit. And Chicago minus 1.5, minus 130. Your total is 8.5, minus shading to the over, minus 120 to the over, and then under 8.5, plus 100. I like Detroit here. Detroit's been playing tough. They've definitely overachieved this year. They cleared their number, their over-under number for the year, I think 2 weeks ago with AJ Hinch has done actually a pretty good job with these guys, despite not having a ton of talent. And I don't know if you know this, but there was a big dust-up a couple of days ago with Jose Abreu with a hard slide to second base, and Tim Anderson actually got suspended for bumping an umpire. So some bad blood here. I think Detroit's going to want to, normally these teams want to play out the string. Same with the White Sox, who already clinched the Central and unlikely to catch Houston in the for home field advantage in that series. So I like Detroit. I really do. And I like this odds here. 215 seems too high a price to not take advantage of. And Lance Lynn has not been – if you look at Lance Lynn the last month or so, he has not been great. He came off DL with a calf injury. He has not been great since he came off. So give me Detroit plus 215. I'm not saying they're going to win, but I think this should be closer to about plus 180, plus 190, not plus 215.
Are you sure?
I am
sure?
Positive on this one. Yes,
okay.
I'm positive on this one. How about you? Do you have a pick on this one or no?
No. This doesn't excite me.
Okay.
I was thinking maybe the run line but that's just too much juice. Minus 130 to win by 2.
Okay.
Especially against a very unpredictable Tigers lineup that could score 10 one day and 1 the next. So
I
don't have an opinion here.
All right. Well, we got 2 more here to pick from. The next one is going to be the Los Angeles Angels, and Jose Suarez will take the bump for them against the Seattle Mariners and Mike Gonzalez, who is going to be pitching for them. The Mariners are the favorite, minus 177 on the money line. Angels plus 162. On the run line, the Angels are plus 1.5, minus 135. Seattle minus 1.5, plus 115. Total for you is 8 runs, shading to the under, minus 115 to the under, minus 105 to the over.
Yeah, I like this game. I am going to take that Seattle run line minus 1.5 at plus 115. They are in part of those 4 or 5 teams in that AL wildcard race. I could see them winning convincingly over the Angels here, who have nothing to play for. Give me the Mariners. They're a wagon of a team. They have quite the lineup. I was not expecting that before the year started, but it's a good sight to see Seattle doing well. So give me the Mariners minus 1.5 here.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. I am going to. Why not? I'll go with you on that. I'll ride that.
Yeah.
One. I was thinking about maybe going with the over in the Dodger Brewer game at 8, but yeah. 2 teams.
That's quite the way to close it out. Yes, agreement.
Yes, agreement. So we'll do that. We'll do that minus 1.5. So for me, I've got Seattle minus 1.5 plus 115. I've got Detroit plus 215 for you guys, and then I've got tonight's game, Padres Dodgers over 9 minus 115 for Greg here. 3-leg Greg. Game day Greg. He's got the under on the Red Sox Nationals game tomorrow, under 9.5, minus 115. He's got the over on tonight's Arizona Diamondbacks game, Arizona Diamondbacks Giants game, over 8.5 between Bumgarner and Kazmir. And then we agree on the final pick on the Mariners -1.5 plus 115. So that'll wrap.
Awesome.
Yeah, that. If you want to go ahead, I know you're the host here, Greg. So if you want to.
No, co-host.
Co-host,
No,
okay.
let's wrap it up here. This has been, if you guys have stuck with us, thank you. We do this for you guys, and we also do this for ourselves. But we'll have a 2 for this week, like we promised. We'll have a show coming up Saturday, probably drop sometime Saturday afternoon. But we'll get this one up for you guys tonight. You'll be able to see how we did in the Bengals Jaguars game. But as always, bet responsibly, and yeah, we'll see you next time, folks.
Yes. See you next time, and thank you very much. And you guys have a great, pleasant evening.
Take care, guys.